Shalom. So you're expecting a new child in your life. A lovely baby boy, or perhaps looking to rename yourself to something with a bit more gravitas. The current trend of baby names is frankly a little light. We keep seeing a lot of Yitzchaks and Shlomos and Eliahus, and those are fine names, but they lack a certain narrative tension. They don't really prepare a child for the crushing realities of the modern world, and you want something that just instantly captures an Iron Age strength. Let's look at the top 10 Bible names for that baby boy in your life. Hello everyone, this is Gilgamesh. On this channel, we care about Hebrew and we care about history. And so I have curated a list of the top 10 biblical names for boys. These are names that are rich in philological history, so deeply rooted in the text that they are guaranteed to set your son apart on the playground. Coming in at number 10, we have a name perfect for parents who want their child to stay humble. Ishbosheth. Now, you might know Ishbosheth as the youngest son of King Saul, the man who ruled over Israel for 2 years while David was consolidating power down in Hebron. But the beauty of this name lies in its textual history. See, in 1 Chronicles, this man was actually called Eshbaal. The suffix Baal in the early monarchy probably just meant master or lord, and may have even been a reference to the God of Israel, man of the master, or maybe even fire of the master. A strong, orthodox name. However, as the centuries went on, the word Baal became exclusively associated with the Canaanite storm god. Later scribes, uncomfortable with an Israelite king bearing a name that sounded like a pagan deity, engaged in a little polemical editing. They replaced Baal with the Hebrew word Boshet. Boshet means shame. So the name Ishbosheth literally translates to man of shame. Think about the reverse psychology here. If you name your son Ishbosheth, you are relieving him of the pressure to be perfect. He can only go up. Plus, it's a wonderful conversation starter regarding the dysphonic pronunciation habits of Judean scribes in the post-exilic period. Number 9. We have a variation on a theme. If man of shame feels a little too generic, why not try Mephibosheth? This name belongs to the son of Jonathan, the grandson of Saul. Like his uncle Ishbosheth, his name was originally Merib-Baal, which means Baal contends or the master defends. It's a warrior's name. But again, the scribes stepped in. They swapped Baal for Boshet and changed the prefix from Merib to Mephi, meaning from the mouth of. So Mephibosheth translates to from the mouth of shame. This is an incredible name for a future lawyer or perhaps a politician. It suggests a boy who is not afraid to speak, even if what comes out may be a little bit shameful. Historically, Mephibosheth was crippled in his youth and showed great humility before King David, calling himself a dead dog. If you want a son who is respectful, knows his place, and carries a name that serves as a permanent theological polemic against Canaanite idolatry, Mephibosheth is the winner. Number 8. Maybe you are a parent who prefers to manage expectations right out of the gate. You don't want your child feeling the pressure to be an overachiever. I present to you Ichabod. Now, many of you know this from Washington Irving's Sleepy Hollow, where there is the main character Ichabod, but the biblical origin is far more dramatic. Ichabod was the grandson of Eli the high priest. He was born at the exact moment that the Philistines captured the Ark of the Covenant, and his father was killed in battle. His mother, in her dying breath, named him Ichabod. The name is composed of an exclamation of negation or sorrow, and kavod, glory. It literally means, where is the glory? Imagine the freedom of growing up with a name that means the glory has already departed. He never has to win the spelling bee. He doesn't have to make the varsity football team. The glory's already gone. He can just relax, play video games, and exist. It's the ultimate anti-anxiety name. Number 7. This one is short, punchy, and easy to spell, just 3 letters. Nabal. Nabal was a wealthy Calebite businessman In 1 Samuel 25, he had 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats, a tycoon. But the text describes him as hard and mean in his dealings. Now, the Hebrew word Nabal means fool, literally senseless, disgraceful, or base. His own wife, Abigail, says of him, as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and stupidity is with him. Now, before you dismiss naming your child Nabal, consider that some scholars argue that the Calebite dialect, it might have meant noble or generous. So you have a win-win. You can tell his friends that it means noble, while secretly knowing that you've named your boy Fool and given him a name that is appropriately easy to spell. It's an inside joke that will last a lifetime. Number 6. Let's say you want your son to be an athlete, a sprinter perhaps, or maybe a hedge fund manager. You need Maher-shalal-hash-baz. This may be the longest personal name in the Bible. It appears in Isaiah 8:1. The Lord instructs the prophet Isaiah to write this name on a large tablet and then gives his newborn son this name as a sign regarding the fall of Damascus and Samaria to the Assyrians. The name translates to swift is the booty, speedy is the prey. Swift to the plunder. It just screams ambition. It's all about the hustle culture. It's about aggressiveness. Yes, he will have trouble learning to write it in kindergarten. But when he gets into trouble, imagine how satisfying it will be to call him by his full legal name, Maher-shalal-hash-baz. And you can call him Speedy for short. It's very trendy. Number 5. Everyone loves a bad boy. There is a certain charisma to a rebel. If you want your son to command authority, consider the name of the first oppressor of Israel in the book of Judges, Cushan-Rishathaim. Now, he was the king of Aram Naharaim in Mesopotamia, but it is his name that is truly spectacular. Cushan is an ethnic or tribal designation indicating that he is from Cush. But Rishathaim, that is the Hebrew word Risha, wickedness, and the dual ending Aim. It literally means Cushan of double wickedness. Not single wickedness, double wickedness. He is twice as bad as the next guy. He is the baddest man in the whole town, badder than old King Kong, meaner than a junkyard dog. It exudes power. It is a name for a boy who refuses to eat his broccoli and refuses to go to bed. Double wickedness. Number 4. Perhaps you're a realist. You look at children and you think, maybe you aren't ready for a long-term investment. You think, maybe I shouldn't get too financially invested in like a 529 college savings plan or anything like that just yet. The perfect name for you is Hebel or Abel. We all know Abel was the brother of Cain, the first victim of murder in human history, but the etymology of his name, Hebel, means vapor, breath, fleeting. In the book of Ecclesiastes, this same word is translated as vanity or meaninglessness. Naming your son Vapor is a beautiful poetic reminder that you aren't really invested in him sticking around forever. It reminds him that at some point you expect him to stop hanging out in your basement. Coming in at number 3, I'm going to actually give you a twofer on this one. These two names go together because they're a package deal. So maybe if you have twin boys or perhaps just two sons very close in age, you cannot do better than Mahlon and Chilion. These are the two sons of Naomi in the book of Ruth. They move to Moab, marry, and then, well, they die. But their names are masterpieces on onomastic foreshadowing. Mahlon means to be sick, essentially sickly or the invalid. Chilion means to expire, to finish, wasting away, or consumption. Sickly and wasting away. Imagine yelling these names across the playground. Sickly, wasting away, time for dinner. It's distinctive, it's evocative, and again, it sets a very low bar for physical fitness, which in our sedentary society is just honest parenting. Number 2. As we mentioned, obesity is quite common now. We worry about diet and genetic disposition. We worry about metabolic disorders. If type 2 diabetes runs in your family, why not lean into it a bit with the name Eglon? Eglon was the Moabite king mentioned in Judges chapter 3. The Bible provides a very specific physical description of him. He was a very fat man. The name Eglon means baby cow. Maybe something like little calf or fatted calf draws an instant image that allows him to embrace his identity. And indeed, the Bible treats Eglon as a fatted calf, as he kind of gets butchered at the hands of Ehud. Naming your son Eglon is a celebration of abundance. It's a name that says, this child eats well. It's body positive, it's bovine adjacent, and it has a cute nickname, Eggy. What's not to love? And finally, number 1. We have a name for the boy who is destined to start his own Scandinavian death metal band. A name so metal, so hardcore, it appears in the genealogies twice. Hazarmaveth. Hazarmaveth. He was the son of Yoktan, a descendant of Shem. Geographically, his name corresponds to the region of Hadramaut in southern Arabia, now modern Yemen. But let's look at the morphology. It's a compound word, chatzar, meaning courtyard or village, and mavet, meaning death. Courtyard of death, or village of death. Imagine the roll call at school. Michael, here. Yoel, here. Village of death, present. It commands respect. It strikes fears into the hearts of substitute teachers. It is historically linked to the South Semitic tribal genealogies, and it sounds like a level in Doom. If you want your son to be a warrior poet, a drummer in a hairband, or simply the most intimidating person in human resources, Hazarmaveth is the only choice. So there you have it. 10 biblical names for boys that embrace the beauty of Scripture and are certain to provide meaning throughout their lives. Let me know in the comments if you plan on using Maher-shalal-hash-baz for your next child, or if you're going to stick with Abner like a coward. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the Hebrew language. Shalom.